Hello everybody. Today we're making soap, and this soap is going to serve two purposes. It's going to be my entry into the Soaper Bow for the Soaping 101 YouTube channel. I'm making a soap based off of kind of my second string favorite NFL team, which is the Raiders. I can't make my first one because it's got purple in it and I haven't mastered purple. Also, it's going to be the first time I test drive my new fragrance. I read some books, very popular books that I will not name, a year or so ago, and in those books, one of the people in the books describes a series of scents that they smell in the place that they're standing, you know, to describe the room and or the scene. And I decided to take those scents that was described in the book and turn it into a fragrance. I used the base notes that were given in the book and or my interpretation of them, and then added in other things to get a male fragrance. The fragrance, the base notes of the fragrance is sandalwood and leather, or are sandalwood and leather. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to get started. In this bowl, I have all of my oils, including olive oil, coconut oil, and castor oil. I also have shea butter, cocoa butter, and yeah, that's it. So castor oil, coconut oil, cocoa butter, olive oil, shea butter. I also have kaolin clay, vitamin E, and aloe, all in this bowl. And I'm getting ready to add in my lye water, which today literally is water. Usually, or not usually, sometimes it's not all just water. Sometimes there are other things like aloe juice or some sort of milk in it, but today it's just lye, or just water and lye. So we're gonna get that in there. Well, that's not true. It's not just water and lye. There's also salt and sugar, which you might see here, but it's nothing to be concerned about. It's just salt and sugar that was added in. I don't know if you can see that, but all I'm doing is using vinegar to douse down the bowl, or the pot, because I don't, well, some they're not old, but they're distinguished, they're seasoned soapers say that you can use vinegar to help deactivate or kill the lye, however you want to say it. So that's what I do. Today I'm going to be doing 3 colors. It's going to be white, black, and gray. How original, right? No one's ever done that before. I'm sure they have. But it's going to be a first for me. Burp the blender. Looking for emulsification. Got some air bubbles. I don't want to take it much past emulsification, which is where you don't see, can you see the oil streak there? I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but there's an oil streak there. You don't want any of that. Once you have that, it's emulsified, and you're working towards trace. Trace is where if you do that, you can actually see strands of soap piling up. And I don't want trace yet. I do eventually want trace. All right. I think we're getting there. All right. We're good. And I'm reached a trace. Gosh, that was fast. Not what I wanted at all. I'm gonna have to move quickly. I've reached what I would consider probably a light to, well, it's definitely a medium trace. I don't even have fragrance oil in there yet. I'm not going to, usually I blend my fragrance oil in, but I'm not going to do that today considering that it has already reached trace. Now, this fragrance is very potent, so I'm not even doing my normal amount because I don't want it to be so overpowering. I'm going to section off some colors here, and we're going to go from here. I'm going to do a cup of white and then a cup in this other thing over here. Maybe a little less. Let's do a little more white. Creeping up on a cup and a third. There we go. Because I'm going to want some, I might even go, I want the top layer to be white as well as some white in the swirl. So, I'm running out of room. Set that over there. I'm going to give the white a zhuzh with my spatula. I should have better luck without getting titanium dioxide streaks in my soap, because I bought this. It's just a little frother from IKEA. We actually don't have an IKEA in our state. So, and I don't, as far as I know, you can't order from IKEA.com. So I went to eBay and was able to pick that one up for $5.99 with free shipping. Now, I'm aware that the shipping is, that the thing only costs like, oh, I don't know. It only costs like $3.99 at IKEA, I think. But, so I'm just adding a little bit of black because I don't want very much at all. I'm looking for a gray color. So I don't really want this to be black, but I don't know how much it's going to take to get it there, just to be perfectly honest. I may end up adding a little bit of my white in here because this looks a little green and I need it to be gray, but I don't want it to be black. It needs to be a nice gray color. I would like to have silver, but I don't have any silver titanium dioxide. I'm going to add just a wee bit of this white in. See if I can't whiten up that base. Get rid of that green tint. I'm looking for a gray. But I wish I had some silver mica. That would be really nice. That's gray, but that's a green gray, and I don't want a green gray. I want a white. I mean a gray. Almost like a silverish color. So, try to whiten it up a little bit. Because it definitely looks green and not gray, which is not what I want. I'm going to give it a zhuzh. See if that will help it all. Because it's definitely a green color, not gray. I should have used I should have done white as my base color. May have to go a little darker than I initially planned just to get rid of this greenish color. I really want a gray and not a green. Definitely still looks green. Oh yeah. My gloves are sticky, are slippery. That's the one thing I don't like about wearing gloves, is they get slippery on me. I find it very hard to do anything. Add a little more white and a little more of the black. I'd rather have a darker gray than a green, if you understand. This is just me learning colorants. To be honest with you, I am so new to soaping. Obviously, this is all new. I've never tried to make gray. And I don't know the formula for gray. So, kind of get what you get, you know? I'll give it a zhuzh. Yeah, I think that's as gray as it's going to get, guys. I'm not really happy with that gray. But it's as gray as it's going to get. So let me move that out of the way. And we'll get working on the black. We'll get some of that in there. I want the black to be black black. Not gray. Surprise! Watch, it's gonna be gray. That would be funny, right? Gloves are so slippery. My little brother, his work had gotten rid of some old trash cans. And he actually brought me some, or two actually. And they were, one of them, they're larger trash cans, but they're big plastic trash cans. And they work really well. So I got a free big garbage can for the basement. Well, for my soapery. It's kind of gray, so I'm just going ahead and taking the rest of the colorant out of this container. I know that this soap will more than likely bleed a little bit, but there's really not much I can do about that. And it's just for us, so yeah, that gray is definitely, or that black is definitely gray. Go figure. My gray is green and my black is... Sorry, guys. It's late here, and my brother and husband went out to make a midnight run to the store. Actually, it was to the bank. And they came home and decided it would be funny to beat on the door when unlocking it. Sometimes guys do not know what's funny. They know that I panic when I'm home by myself, because at one point in my very well, not very long ago, a man, I was going to call him a gentleman, but he's not a gentleman. A man tried to come into my house, and I had to call the police to get him to leave. He was arrested and taken away, only to return a few weeks later. Some people are incorrigible. So now I'm going to add the gray in. I'm just adding it into the entire batch into the mold. Now I'm fully aware that the Raiders are silver, black, and white, not gray, but I don't have any silver, so this is my interpretation. And I am fully aware that the Raiders are not in the Super Bowl. But Miss Kathy, who we call Teach over at Soaping 101, said that it doesn't have to be anyone who's in the Super Bowl. It can be any team that you like. So this is what we get. Alright. So I'm going to grab a skewer here. Just trying to work out some of those air bubbles that may possibly be in there. It's not really the pretty gray that I was hoping it would be. I think it's because my olive oil is it's extra virgin and not pumice, so it's very green. But not much I could do about that. Alright, so I think I actually have too much black, which was my fear, because I'm not actually doing a swirl in the entire soap. I'm actually only going to drop swirl into one side. With both colors. And anything I have left, I'll of course just do something else with, you know. This is a total experiment on my part. I have no idea what I'm doing. Actually, I shouldn't have done that yet, because I'm going to go ahead and pop my gloves off. I'm having a terrible time with them. I shouldn't have done the white across like that yet, because I'm going to spoon swirl on this side. This is what they call the Celine swirl. Look how pretty. I hope that's what it looks like on the inside. And then I'm going to take the white, the rest of the white and the rest of the black. Well, let me do the black first. And I'm going to drizzle it over the top Whoa, whoa. That did not go as I had planned. I'm just haphazardly spreading that across the top of the soap. Hopefully I have enough white left to do what I'm intending to do. I'm not really sure what I want to do here on top. Just to be honest, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. I don't know if I want to try to do some... I think I'm just going to give it a... maybe... I don't know. Let's see. I might just do a slight figure 8. Whoa, I got off track with my figure 8s. There we go. I might actually even go over it one more time. Let's try it one more time. Because I really want it more swirled than what I was getting. I'm not going deep into the soap at all. I'm just barely skimming the top. I don't want to overdo it, but I don't want it solid either. You're probably, if you've read the books that I am kind of focusing this soap on, you're probably like, hey, I'm quite aware of what that soap is. Shh, don't tell nobody. Don't tell anybody. Actually, it doesn't really matter. I'll tell you. This soap, well, I'm not going to put that on there. That's stiffened up quite a bit. So, while it's darker on this end than that one, that's not really what I had hoped for. Goodness gracious. Let's do a few drips. So I really want it to be kind of equally. I like to get some darker down here as well. Not just, let's see, maybe I could pull it off with the skewer there. I don't want it as light as it was showing up. So yeah. And this is a guy scent, so I'm not putting any glitter at all. And I think I'm going to call
Thank you for watching.
I'll see you for the cutting. Bye-bye.